Hi everybody, welcome to week 7. Oh man, we're already halfway through the semester. That's honestly crazy for me to believe. This is my overview video for Module 7, both for what you guys are going to be doing this week and also kind of a brief summary of the reading as well. I'm combining them both this week because I feel like it's really kind of redundant to make two videos. But anyway, for this week's material that you guys physically have to do, you have a quiz due on Friday, and then you also have a workbook due on Friday. And both of these two things are going to be taken, the material for these things are going to be taken from the reading for this week. I don't think you guys have any supplemental materials that you have to go through besides the textbook reading. So everything you're going to need for the quiz and the workbook are both going to come from the reading, which is, I think, maybe counter to what I said last week about there being a discussion this week. I thought there was one, but there's not, which is fine, honestly, because it's less work for all of us. So, although I am looking forward to the next time we do discussion because I think we're finally getting the discussion format down, and I really always like to hear what you guys have to say, or at least what you guys have to write. It's interesting to me. But anyway, so as far as the actual material this week goes, even though you guys only have the textbook reading, this is a really important lesson this week, because it goes into the origins of agriculture and the origins of human settlements that are permanent specifically. Because a lot of the time previously we talked about hunter-gatherers and nomadic peoples who generally tend to follow around a food source. But now this week we're starting to get into the roots of what makes complex societies, which is really pretty cool. And a lot of the narrative for this week's reading focuses on the distinction between food production and permanent settlement, and the question about, did permanent settlements come first or did agriculture come first? And once again, I mean, the answer is going to be kind of, somewhere in the middle. Like, sometimes you'll see in places food production or domestication of plants arises first and then permanent settlements arise later, but there are definitely examples out there, especially in the Middle East, of settlements that arose independently of agriculture. So it's really neither one or the other, but they both do have an impact on each other, which is going to be more clear to you when you go through the readings this week. As far as like the actual archaeological methods portion goes, you're going to be looking into archaeobotany, which is really kind of it's a cool field, and there are several archaeobotanists here at Ohio State. You're going to be talking about, or you're going to be reading about things like ancient pollen and ancient charred seed fragments, things like that, how archaeologists are able to interpret how previous climates were by using those remains. If you just have a few grains of pollen and maybe like a seed or two that was basically like charred, you can pretty much know the climatic context of the strata that you're looking at. You can even know, depending on how good the data you get, you can even know the season that this particular strata was deposited in, which is honestly, once again, really cool. Let's see here, so that's I mean, obviously go into the reading more and read yourself to get more details, but besides those two things, of course, we always have the Anthropocene in the back of our minds as we're reading and looking at the materials, so a lot of what this week focuses on, besides archaeological methods and besides agricultural production, is how humans changed our environment with the advent of farming, and it is really significant, and it kind of dispels the notion that there are still areas in the world that humans haven't touched, because even the most remote corners of the earth were probably impacted by human settlement at one point or another, and that's something that you guys will probably get out of this week. But as far as my short summary of the reading goes, those are the main points to take away. Once again, as always, if you have any questions about anything at all, feel free to contact me. Feel free to reach out to set up an appointment with me during my office hours. And I look forward to, I don't know, looking at your your workbooks and quizzes this week, but next week I look for. Well, this week actually I look forward to reading your essays because you turn them in this Sunday. So yeah, I'll hopefully give you feedback on those pretty soon. Hope everyone has a good week. Thank you.